Hey YouTube, this is LaShawn Wiley with the Science of Managing, and today's episode we are going to go over the home purchasing process. We are going to simplify that process down to 5 easy to follow steps. That will make the process a little easier for you to follow and feel comfortable during, because I know for a lot of people making your first home purchase, this could be a nerve-wracking process. Okay. I am going to keep it in easy to understand language so that you feel comfortable with the buying process. And by the way, that's what we really do here on the Science of Managing. We come up with ways, or I come up with ways that I can share with you all based on my own personal experience, ways to make more money, ways to save more time, and eliminate the headache and mistakes that you could possibly make during these really big purchases like buying your first home. Right now is a great time to be looking for a home. As a banker, I have seen people get mortgages that are under 3%, which is outrageous. And that's not going to stay that way. So if you're renting and you're looking to make the switch to being a homeowner, I would recommend you do it now. It's a good time to do it. Okay. So we're going to summarize this into 5 easy to follow steps. Let's get started. Step number 1 is pre-approval letter. You are going to need a pre-approval letter for a lot of sellers to even let you in the house, okay? Because they don't want to waste their time. They want to make sure that you are pre-qualified and that you can basically get the loan for the amount that they're selling this house for. So get yourself a pre-approval letter with your bank or whoever you plan on getting the money from. If it's a lender that you deal with, go ahead and get your pre-approval letter. It shouldn't take them too long to produce that, okay? Especially if you have the credit and you have the source of income all locked down. All right. Okay, so number 2, real estate agent. You want to make sure you find a really good real estate agent that's going to house hunt for you and find you the perfect house. Now, the thing about step number 2, real estate agent, is some real estate agents can help you with step number 1. Okay. Because a lot of real estate agents know a lot of lenders that they can recommend to you. So if you find a good real estate agent and you really don't have a lender, you can ask that agent, hey, do you know a lender you would want to recommend? And normally they know 2, 3, if not 4 different lenders that they can recommend and introduce you to, and get you that pre-approval letter. So that would, if you don't have step 1 already knocked out, know that you can lean on your real estate agent to help you out with that. Now, when it comes to a real estate agent, you want to find an agent that you're comfortable with. And if it's you and a spouse or a significant other who's looking with you, I advise that you both meet this real estate agent together. Make sure you guys are comfortable with them, that they are not trying to talk over your head, intimidate you, and speak down to you. You don't want an agent like that. You want an agent that will work hard for you, because that's what agents really need to do in order to find you the house that you're looking for. Okay. Now, when you find an agent, they are going to want to sign a contract with you. There are some agents that'll work without a contract. And if you can find that, that's perfect. Because if things don't go right, you can just move on to the next agent. You can just kind of walk away from them if they're not finding you the house that you're looking for example. But most agents want you to sign a contract. That way you don't like jump around. They want you to kind of commit to them. An average contract is around 6 months. I try to go for 3 months, and I've signed 3-month contracts with agents before. And those are agents that are hungry. They're willing to work. And that's what I kind of like. I've also signed 6-month contracts, but I don't think I've ever signed a year contract. Maybe my first home, I probably did something like that. But me, myself, I try to stay away from that year commitment, because that's just too long for me. Because if you as an agent, you're not finding what I'm looking for and you're kind of jerking me around, I'm ready to go to the next agent. So you want to shorten that commitment if you can, as much as possible. Okay. Number 3 is that offer you make on the house. So let's say you got the pre-approval letter and your agent found you the perfect home that you were looking for. The next step is to make an offer on that home. Now, right now in mid 2020, the real estate market is super hot right now. So I bring this up because when you're in a market where houses are selling like hotcakes, and it's a seller's market, meaning the seller can get 5 offers as soon as they put the house on the market, that does not work in your favor as the buyer. Because when you make that offer, if they're asking, for example, $150,000 for the house, and they already have 5 offers on the table, there's a good chance that one of those offers is for more than the $150,000. So if you really like the house, you may have to offer more than what they're asking for, and you may have to offer a lot over what they're asking for. I know on the West Coast, houses are selling for $15,000 to $20,000 over asking price. So kind of keep those things in mind, especially if you see a house that you really like and you discover that there's multiple offers on the table. Also, cash only deals can sweeten the pot. If you're able to offer all cash, that can sweeten the pot for the seller, because the seller knows that you don't need to be approved for a loan, which can mess things up for them. So that's one way to also sweeten a deal to where you won't have to offer more because you're paying with all cash. Okay, so before we get into number 4, if this is content that you are benefiting from and this is information that is going to help you, please like this video and subscribe, because this is the type of information that we share here on The Science of Managing. So let's jump to number 4. Number 4 is escrow. Now, the escrow period, look at escrow as the middleman, okay? Because you have the buyer, you have the seller. So escrow is the guy right in the middle. Escrow is where everything goes, so that everything, when I say everything, I'm talking about the money, I'm talking about the deed, the keys, is not in one person's hand. Escrow makes sure the handoff happens, okay? So think of escrow as the middleman ensuring a smooth handoff. Now, during escrow, and escrow normally lasts around 30 to 45 days. That's typical. A short escrow is around 30 days. I have heard of escrows going for 15 days, but that's not very typical. It's not normal, okay? On average, escrows normally go around 45 days. A long escrow is around 60 days. That means probably something's being delayed or something's wrong. But normally during the escrow period, whether it's 30, 45, 60 days, what's being verified is that both parties are who they say they are. So they're making sure that the seller's home is what he says it is, he or she, because you want to make sure that there's no extra liens on the house, like the seller doesn't owe someone else money on the house and he's trying to sell it to you, even though he owes money to not only his mortgage company, but to someone else. Okay, so the escrow process is a time where all of that is being checked out and verified. The buyer is also making sure the home is right. Like he's having a home inspection. You're having a home inspection if you're the buyer. Making sure that there's no issue with the plumbing, that the foundation is good, that the roof is in shape, that the framework was done. The inspector, a good home inspector, is going to find any real issues with that house, and they'll be able to bring it up to your attention. That way you can make an informed purchase after the escrow is all said and done, and everything checks out, and the seller is who he says he is, and you as the buyer, you can actually afford the house, you can qualify for the loan, and the loan goes through. If you're not new to purchasing homes, I've heard of people skipping home inspections, but I would not advise you do that if this is your first home. I have purchased homes without home inspections before because I've done it a few times, so I knew pretty much what to look for. But if this is your first home, you want to have a home inspection. Please do that. Okay, so that's number 4. All right, so Yay, you made it this far to step number 5, which is the closing. It's time to close this puppy down. It's time to sign a book of contracts because they're going to give you a stack of papers like yay. So get ready to sign a lot of papers. But before you sign on the dotted line, make sure that the paperwork is in order, that nothing has changed during the 30-day or 40-day escrow period, that the contract has not changed, because things can happen. All right. I was stung and slammed on this before myself. On the second home that I ever purchased, the terms were not what I expected them to be. And it was the lender's fault. The lender told me that my loan was not an adjustable rate mortgage, an ARM, ARM. And I later found out that it was. So, and I felt that things were not on the up and up, like things were not matching up, but I didn't stop. I didn't ask questions. I didn't say, hey, wait a minute, clarify what you just said, even though I know I heard what I just heard. So during the closing, if something seems off, or if you hear something that didn't really make sense, do not be afraid to say, excuse me, what did you say? Can we talk a little bit about that? Can you explain that to me? Don't be afraid of looking like a fool. Don't be in a hurry because you already waited the 30-day escrow period and now it's time to close, because you don't have to sign. If it's not right, you don't have to sign. So make sure everything is on the up and up. Make sure everything is right when you sign on that line. And I remember when I purchased my very first home in Los Angeles and I walked into my house, I had my keys. And funny thing is, the keys didn't work on the front door. So I had to break the door down. And I really did that to get into my home. I was so excited. I knocked the front door down because I said, hey, this is my house. So if anybody want to come and call the police, they can, because this is mine. But yeah, what an exciting time if you're buying your first home. And if this is you, I want you to leave a comment about your first home purchase. If you already made your purchase, or if you have any questions about your first purchase, leave those comments in the comment section. I'll be more than happy to give you a response and help you understand this process, because I know it can be very scary and sometimes very intimidating. All right, you guys be good, succeed in life, no excuses, and stay tuned in this channel and I will help you succeed in life. Okay, you guys be good and see you next time.